it's hard to come up with a cogent argument to say that we should keep things as unfair as they are today the same, right? So I think the market understands that, but what the market doesn't understand, and where you do get some jitters, is where are we going to be going? We all know that we've been in a trade war. We're not starting a trade war. It's the $200 to $300 billion a year that we lose in intellectual property rights to China, their government helping their own companies against WHO compete with U.S. companies. Yeah. It's just not fair, and that's the deal. We've been in a trade war. So the market knows it's going to change, but it doesn't know how it's going to change, and that's where the worry is. I think the market knows it needs to change, but the uncertainty is why we see the jitters. And the stock market's done very well. So if you need a reason to get out, this would be the type of reason that you would take.
But is that a legitimate reason at this point? Are the fundamentals shifting to the extent that we're going to be in a very different market in 6 months' time compared to where we are now?
We get it all the time. And look, Donald Trump's hard to like. So you don't have to like the player, but you got to like his game, right? We've seen a lot of things improve since he's been in office. Yeah, somebody will say that they'll take, Obama should take credit for some of those things, but at the end of the day, things have gotten a lot better, and we've got some confidence from the CEOs, which is at all-time highs. That's really the most important thing. Sentiment's turned. But what I don't like is there's a leak in the system, right? You can't have 4.1% unemployment and really not have any wage pressures. Something's getting out somewhere, and we're not capturing all that growth. Yes, GDP is going in the right direction, but at the end of the day, we should be getting more bang for our buck right now, and nobody can figure out where that leak is. Do
you think the reaction around earnings then has been overly negative because there are these fears lurking in the backdrop? I mean, some of the numbers have been fairly good, and you've just not seen the stock response.
Yeah, there's two reasons why. Number one, what I just alluded to, I think that everybody can recognize there is a leak in the system, okay? The numbers we had from yesterday from manufacturing, yeah, we're continuing to expand, but at a lesser rate. How's that happening, right? And number two is that I think, really, bottom line is, investors are afraid to really get excited about what's happening. They're afraid something might happen that could be bad because they actually like what Trump's put in place, but it's kind of unpopular to really get behind it. So they're just reticent to really put both feet in the water right now. And with what we've seen with the leak in the system, that's the problem. We're not getting the bang for the buck.
The Fed picked up on some of these points yesterday about the coolness you saw in the first quarter, whether the 3-month numbers were just a seasonal effect or whether it was a slight coming off the top and only to pick up speed again going into the rest of the year. And they seem to be fairly confident about what lies ahead. Why do you think the market didn't pick up on that message from the Fed so much and were willing still to sell stocks down and push the Dow into correction territory?
For the last 8 years, the Fed's been one thing, and that's inconsistent. So we can count on them. But when they finally do hit their numbers right, which they've done with basically inflation, they've backed off of what they would do if it happened. So the Fed is reactionary. They've been behind the curve. I'll say this, though. Investors don't think that inflation is going to get away from us. They think that we're going to see it, but it's just not going to run away like it did early 2000s or the housing market. And we're not going to see oil prices get away from us. There's an oversupply there. So what's going to really cause the market to catch fire? And if we still can't find the leak in the system, that's what's got investors kind of flummoxed right now.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.